Hello students, in this video we'll be discussing about the cross structure of kidneys and ureters. First of all, we'll be discussing about the renal coverings. The renal coverings are fibrous capsule, perirenal fat, renal fascia and pararenal fat. This is the frontal section of the kidneys. Now first you see the outer coverings, the capsule, and then you see in yellow color the perirenal fat, then a green line which is showing renal fascia, and the outermost covering the pararenal fat. These are the outer protective coverings of the kidney. Now we will see the internal structure. It is divided into an outer cortex and inner medulla. The outer portion which surrounds the periphery of the kidneys, that is the renal cortex, and the inner portion which has the pyramids, brown colored pyramids, that is the renal medulla. The renal cortex, it is reddish brown in color. It is soft and granular in consistence. It lies immediately beneath the fibrous outer covering, and it extends inside. It dips in between the adjacent pyramids towards the renal sinus. Now the part which is dipping in between the pyramids, you can see in the diagram, the part dipping in between the pyramids, that is called the renal column. Now you see the renal medulla. It is the inner region of the parenchyma of the kidney, and it consists of multiple pyramidal tissue masses which are called the renal pyramids. Now these renal pyramids are triangular structures, and they contain a dense network of the nephrons. Now you see this diagram. At end of each nephron, you see here nephrons are being shown, which are the functional units of the kidneys. Now at one end there is a cup-shaped structure which is called the Bowman's capsule. It has a tuft of capillaries called the glomerulus, which carry blood from renal arteries into the nephron, where plasma is filtered through the capsule. Now after entering the capsule, the fluid flows through proximal convoluted tubules, then to the loop of Henle, then to distal convoluted tubules and collecting ducts, which in the end flows into the ureter. And next thing you see is, next part is renal pelvis. Renal pelvis, it contains the hilum, and moreover all the filtrate, it moves from the nephron to the minor calyx, then to the major calyx, and then into the renal pelvis. Now we'll be talking about the ureters. The ureters are tubular structures which are approximately 30 centimeters in adults, and they pass from pelvis of each kidney into the bladder. The ureter, it is a tube which carries the urine from kidneys to the urinary bladder. There are two ureters, one attached to each kidney. The upper half of the ureter is located in abdomen, and lower half is located in the pelvic area. See this diagram. The ureters, they arise from renal pelvis, which is a funnel-like structure located within the hilum of the kidney. The renal pelvis receives the urine from major calyces. Now the point at which renal pelvis narrows to form the ureter, that is called ureteropelvic junction. Now after rising from the ureteropelvic junction, the ureters, they descend through the abdomen and along the anterior surface of the psoas major muscle. The ureters are retroperitoneal structures, that is, they are located behind the peritoneum. Upon reaching the bladder wall, the ureters, they pierce its lateral aspect in an oblique manner. Now when they enter the urinary bladder in an oblique manner, this creates a one-way valve. Now what happens? This one-way valve prevents the backflow of urine so that the urine, it just flows in one direction, that is from ureters to the urinary bladder, and it does not flow back to the ureters from the urinary bladder. That is why these ureters, they pierce the lateral aspect of urinary bladder in an oblique manner. Now next is the blood supply of the ureters. The upper ureter is supplied by renal artery and by the branches from gonadal artery. The arterial supply of middle ureter is derived from the common iliac arteries and the gonadal arteries. And the lower part of the ureter, it is supplied by the vesical arteries. So that is all about the blood supply of the ureters.